Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. If you watched our last video with Thor and Valkyrie, then you knew this was coming. It's Loki and Hera. Now, Loki is absolutely one of my favourite models that they've released so far. I know I said the Asgardians as a whole were some of my favourite models that they've done, but I just absolutely adore this Loki model. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I had the Old Knight Models one, and I hated it with a fiery passion. But
he looked like proper old school Loki though, didn't he?
He did, yes.
I like that style.
I like the jacket. I don't know why. I think it mixes more modern comic book with the films nicely, and I quite like that. But yeah, and then Hela is Hela. I don't think I'm going to like painting her, but I think she's a fantastic sculpt.
She's not as bad as it looks.
Oh. Did you paint her with contrasts, or did you just paint her normally?
No. There's two different greens and a green glaze on that model, and there's about 4 different shades of green on from the finish.
I paint orcs, so I should be used to green. But yeah, as always, that's the back. No one really cares about the back of a box, so you can see that in the shop. So let's bust it open. And once again, as I did with the previous video, you're going to get the joys of seeing the models painted. It's rare, just accept it. It's not going to happen all the time unless Sparks is there. As always, protective card to make sure you don't damage your cards. Brilliant, because the amount of games I've bought where the cards have been warped drives me mad. You pay X amount for games, you don't want damaged stuff. The sprues, we will come and have a look at them later. With my 6 bases for 2 models. Can't argue with that, really. You'd whinge if you got less than you needed, so let's have a look. So as always, you get your cards that you need for, your tokens that you need for these particular models, and they're good quality. I say it in every video, and I say it because it's true. They've put money into the game. Everything from the cards that you get, that the characters are on, to the tokens, to the fact that it's plastic, and you know it's rare outside of Games Workshop that you get this much plastic. A good quality plastic anyway. There are other companies that do not plastic, which is what Privateer do, that resin plastic.
They used to. I think they're moving away from that now to all metal and actual resin. From what I've seen, I've heard.
I don't know. I haven't played anything Privateer since 2nd edition Warmer Hordes, and I gather on like 6th edition or something. I don't know. I don't care. What? Probably. The one good thing that came from that is the guys who made this game, because that's where they're all from. But yeah, so we'll dive straight into it. Now with this, you don't get a mission or anything like that, but that's fine because we know they now only come with the main affiliation leader for the most part. You might get the odd one, but we notice this because there's only a couple of different setups you can do with the boards at this stage anyway. I'm hoping there's more. Missions are going to start to feel samey anyway, so there's no point giving you 20 variations of the same mission. What we've got now is a nice little mix, but what you do get is an infinity gem, and this is the mind gem. It's pretty cool. Now this gets taken as a character, doesn't it, essentially?
It fills up one of your roster slots instead of a character, and it increases the threat value of a character that can equip it. Yeah. So far, the only people that can include the mind gem is Loki, because he has a rule that says so. But if you equip it with him, he becomes a 5-point model instead of a 5-threat model instead of a 4-threat one. Which means that if he's alongside Thor in Asgardians with the mind gem, there's 2 valid targets for Usurp the Throne. It actually increases his threat. It's not a 1-threat thing on the side. That's pretty cool, and obviously it changes the dynamic, especially if you're going in playing against them and you think, right, I'm going against Thor, and then you're like, oh no, Loki's a valid choice now. And obviously, they've said that Thanos comes with all of the stones, doesn't he? They have said that, yes.
Yes.
And they may have said something about Thanos being able to equip all of the stones at once.
But it does mean that for those few people who are silly enough not to buy every set, they still can get the gems.
Yes.
And you will notice that they're gems, not stones.
Yep.
I'd be fine with either, but there's a nerdy part of me that likes the fact that they're gems. But yeah, so it costs you 2 anyway to use. Choose an enemy character within 3 and advance small or short forward towards them. This superpower may be used only once per turn. So it's an extra move, but only a little one.
It's an enemy move. It's a compound.
Oh yeah, choose an enemy character.
But the other thing to bear in mind with Infinity Gems as well, for every Infinity Gem that a character has equipped, they gain an extra power at the start of the turn.
This is true.
So if Loki equips that, he gets that power, and he also generates 3 power every turn. One for the gem and 1 for Asgardian.
Oh yeah, because if you download the most up-to-date version of the rules, which are free on their site, it actually tells you it has the Infinity Gem stuff in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's printed in there now, and it's also on the build instructions for these as well.
Perfect. That's even better. So let's have a look at the cards that come with them. Unaffiliated, and this is Doomed Prophecy. At the start of the activation phase, any allied character may spend 3 power to place this card. This character cannot roll defense dice against physical attacks. Additionally, this character adds dice to its physical attacks equal to its physical defense until the beginning of the next activation.
So there is an errata on that, and it is in the new book as well.
Yep.
The additional attack dice equal to your physical defense till the end of the turn.
Ooh.
Until the end of the round?
Yes.
Full turn.
Yeah.
Full play turn. The no rolling physical defense dice is for the rest of the game.
Oh.
So you drop that on Cap, and for the rest of the game, he can't roll any physical defense, even by Vibranium Shield. He's just not allowed to. But for that turn, he's got Strength 8, Shield throws, ricocheting left, right, and centre.
That's pretty impressive.
Or if Hulk's gonna die, drop it on him. He can't roll his 2 physical defense ever again for the rest of the game, but he gets an extra 2 attack dice.
Hulk smash, but not. And then the last one is Sibling Rivalry, which again is unaffiliated. Yeah, obviously not. But it is technically, even though I always.
No, I'm saying I love this card.
Oh no. But yeah, I always find the ones that are unaffiliated, but they're specific to certain characters.
Yeah.
You might as well have put an affiliation on them. But I see why they didn't, because if you've got Thor and Loki, but not like they're in.
You're playing Cabal.
Yeah.
With Loki, or you're playing Avengers. That's the ones.
Yes. So I see why they didn't, but it just, yeah. I'm just ranting for the sake of ranting. I'll shut up. So yeah, so if Thor, Prince of Asgard, is within 2 of an allied Loki, God of Mischief, both characters may spend 1 power to play this card. Throw the allied Loki, medium. Loki doesn't suffer collision damage during this throw, and enemy characters that he collides with roll 2 fewer dodge dice and suffer the staggered special condition. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. So it's kind of like a pounce, but Thor's throwing you instead.
Throwing Loki instead. But it's better than a pounce as well, though, because 2 less defense.
Yeah, 2 less defense. That's a good card. I can see me playing that a lot when I've got those 2.
Very strong card.
And I will stress, before I saw these cards, I did say Asgardians was one of the ones I wanted to play. Although you're doing Asgardians of the Galaxy, so
I will be eventually.
We tend to not play the same models against each other, whether that's just by sheer accident or design. No one's really sure.
I mean, that's going to be like my second roster, though.
Yeah. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the 2 cards. I'm very interested to have a look at Loki's because, as I said, I love the model. I love Loki as a character. I think he's brilliant. So here we have Loki, the God of Mischief. He starts with 5 stamina. He's medium move, size 2, and he costs 4. He's got physical defense of 3, energy defense of 3, and his mystic of 4, which makes sense because, you know, he's the God of Mischief. It says right up at the top there. It's going to be causing some cheeky shenanigans. He has a basic strike, distance of 2, rolls 5 dice. After this attack is resolved, he gains power equal to the damage dealt. Pretty standard strike. He also has Frost Blast, which is an energy-based attack. It's a B3, which is a beam.
Yep.
So 3 straight, everything that gets hit, bad times. He rolls 4 dice. If the attack deals damage, after the attack is resolved, the target character gains the slow special condition. So that can be pretty impressive if you catch someone while they've got a lineup going on. And then you've got illusions, because, you know, somebody had to have some mystic attacks at some point. So it's a distance of 4, roll 6 damage, and costs you 3. So if you roll 2 wilds, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Causes mesmerize. After this attack is resolved, you may advance the target's character at speed. After the advance is resolved, all of the characters within 2 of the targets... I see now why you need 2 of them. That's pretty good. And now we'll get on to his actual superpowers. We'll start at the bottom, because he's a gem bearer, and he can take both the mind and the space gem.
But not at the same time.
But not at the same time, because he can only have 1. It seems that Thanos is the only one who can have 5 at this point. Or 6, sorry, yeah, not 5. What am I on about? I always forget about the one in the centre. Yeah, internet, you can call me on that one. Then we're going to go up for God of Mischief. While within 4 of this character, enemy characters must spend 1 power before using a special power or a superpower. So that's pretty good. And you still obviously get your reactives and stuff.
Yep.
And then as Guardian, during the power phase, this character gains 1 additional. We talked about that in the previous one. It was a spoiler, so sorry about that, guys. And then we go across to his superpowers. Both seem to be getting raved about, so I'm quite interested to read these. So for 3 power, you've got Trickster. When this character is targeted by an attack, he may use this superpower. This character makes a short advance, or a small advance. If at the end of the advance, this character is outside of the attacker's range or the attacker's line of sight, the attack ends. If it is the attacker's activation and the attack did not target multiple characters, the attacker may make another action. This superpower can only be used once per turn. It's pretty good. But I am a god is the one that I see people raving about. And he is a god, so it's only fair. So it costs you 2. Before rolling an attack or defense die, you may use a superpower during this attack. This character adds blanks in its attack or defense roll, so it's total successes. So I can see why people are raving about it. Obviously, there are characters who can do that anyway. Yeah, it's good. I don't see it as the game changer that everybody seems to be making it out to be.
It's with the rest of his tech, it's really good.
Yes. Yeah, true. Let's flip them over though and see what's on the back. Boom. So, still 5, medium, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4. Doesn't really change. I feel like I misled them by flipping it. They'd have been sad if I didn't. So, let's have a look at the next one now, which is Hela, Queen of Hell. Bosh. So, 6 stamina, medium, 2, 4, and then 4s across the board for a defense. Pretty nice for a 4-point character. Let's have a look at what she does though, damage-wise. So her first attack is physical attack, and it's Hellforged Blade. It's distance of 2, rolls 5 dice. After attack is resolved, you gain the power dealt in damage, pretty standard. But she has bleed on wilds, and everyone knows bleed is awesome. Ugh. Then she has a mystic attack, so scrap my no one have mystic attacks comment from before. Everyone's getting them now. And this claims soul, fits obviously her character very much so. Distance of 4, roll 6 dice, and cost 2. If the attack deals damage, after the attack is resolved, this character gains 1 captured soul token. I'm feeling, spoiler-wise, that this is going to come in handy later down the card.
Yes, it does.
So we'll look at Reign of Hell first before we get into her shenanigan-y goodness. It's a distance of 3, it's a physical attack, rolls 7 dice and costs 4. If the target character has the bleed special condition, it does not count wild results as successes. Now that is fantastic. And then as a wild, it also has explosive. Before damage is dealt, other enemy characters within 2 of the target characters suffer 1 damage. Nice. Now let's look at her shenanigan-y goodness. Now we'll go straight to Asgardian because we've covered it many, many times on this channel over 2 videos. and she just gets an additional 1 power. So Asgardians get power quick. Makes sense. And then Goddess of Death. When another character is dazed or KO'd, this character gains a captured soul token. This character may have a maximum of 3 captured soul tokens at any time. Now, this leads us into Army of Hell. Discard 1 to 3 captured soul tokens during the next activation made by this character this turn. Add 1 die to its attack roll for each captured soul token that was discarded. If a captured soul token was discarded after the attack is resolved, the character gains the bleed special condition, and this superpower can only be used once per turn. So that is really good.
Yeah. It gets better on the other side though.
Let's flip it then. Boosh. So, as you can see, she goes from 6 to 4. I feel that's going to be negated by the beautifulness that's coming on the card though. Her attacks are the same. No changes on them. What have we got here? So, Goddess of Death, Asgardian, and Army of Hell. So let's have a look. Where still got Goddess of Death, still got Asgardian, still got Army of Hell. The text on that hasn't changed, has it? Nope.
One of them has.
No, she's just got a whole new skill now, which is Queen of Hell.
Yep, that's it.
So this is a whole other skill, or superpower. If this character has 3 captured soul tokens, when it would be KO'd, you may use this superpower to remove all damage and captured soul tokens from this character, and then she is not KO'd at all.
Yeah. She's like, you've got 3 soul tokens? Yeah, just swipe them. Nah, I'm selling it.
That's impressive. Yeah, I think she's going to be pretty fun on the table. So yeah, that's these. I think it's time for us to look at the models. We'll start with Hela, and then after that we'll have a look at Loki because he's my favourite. So look at that. She's gorgeous. That skin, is that a different coloured skin than what you normally use, or is it just the greens that are making it look different?
It's just the greens. Still skill 75 basic skin tone, I think it is.
Either way, it's gorgeous model.
So there's old GW We're Watcher green.
Yep.
On the flames. The main body is skill 75 despair green.
Yep.
And the cloak, the face mask, and the edging on her is skill 75 boreal green, with varying amounts of just a random dark grey mixed in to tone it down and make it look different. But there is literally 2 different shades of green on that model.
It's absolutely stunning. I mean, both the model and the paint job on it.
If you were using stuff like GW paint, I think it's Incubi Darkness.
Yes.
That's the closest thing. That's just washed black, and that's pretty much the green-black bodysuit.
Yes.
And then just another green for the edges.
It's beautiful because from a distance, from a distance it looks like a black suit. It's only when you get really close up you can see that there's actually way more to it. That is absolutely fantastic. So let us have a look at the man now, or the woman. He's been both because he doesn't discriminate. But this version seemingly is definitely male. I didn't ask him his pronouns, but I guessed. And again, absolutely gorgeous. Different style of green. Do you remember what you used for it?
That is skill 75 Sherwood green.
I can't even think of a Games Workshop equivalent that looks that nice, to be honest.
It's somewhere in between moot green and ochre and camel. It's like a camel green, but it's too bright and vivid compared to the GW camel green.
Yeah.
The closest thing is moot green, but moot green is proper lime green.
It is, yeah.
Which is why I bought that green, because it's a really nice, bright, but not lime green.
Yes.
I use it on a lot of things. Like I say, it was on the palette.
Yeah.
I guess I'll paint Loki's coat while I'm at it. Oh, painted gold, it's still some on the palette. Guess I'll paint Loki's stave.
Your metallics on this are absolutely fantastic as well.
Skull Crusher brass. And then the orb in the middle is Greenstuff World's Toxic Purple colour shift bed. Which I use on Panther.
I was going to say, I remember you used that on Panther. Yeah, absolutely stunning. I genuinely think the metals on that are some of the nicest metals I've seen on a model. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So, we've had a look now at all of the Asgardians that you can presently get over 2 videos. I'm a particularly big fan of the Asgardians. Let me know in the comments what you think of them. Have you got the models? Are you going to get the models? Are you going to watch Sparks use the models? In the next video that we've got coming out, which is an actual Let's Play. This is less of an explainy Let's Play and more just a Let's Play. Because the last one was very long. Because as we were going through, we were explaining the rules of the game. So it was kind of a half Let's Play, half how to play. This is just going to be a game. But yeah, guys, as always, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, which is the same thing. Share with your friends, family, loved ones, people you know in the street. Tell some work colleagues about us, that old chestnut. And pray the dice gods hope they smile upon you. Say goodbye, Sparks.
Bye, Sparks.
Bye, Sparks.